Okay, today we're learning a Gemara Bava Daf Tzadik Beis. So, Amar LeRava LeRabba Bar More. Mina Milsa the Amra Inshay. People say, Bosar Aniya Oslo Aniyusa. People say, after a poor person goes poverty. After a poor person, poverty goes after him, follows him.
Yeah.
And Taka they say today also, the rich get richer,
Right.
the poor get poorer. So that already was an older saying. So this to say, then Bavel and Rava asked Rabbi Bar Mori, where it's coming from? In Chazal today, people in the world today, they want to look where it says. They go to where they go to see what thing says. They go to Google. In time of Chazal, when they see where it says, they go to the Psukim, they go to the Gemaras, they go to a Brayta, to a Mishnah, they go to their sources. Their sources were not a Google, it was the Torah Shebal Peh, Torah Shebechsal. Amar Lei, so he brings a Raya from a Mishnah. It's a Mishnah in Bikurim, Ashirim, Mevim, Bikurim, Bekolosa Shel Zov, B'Shel Kesef. Time they brought Bikurim to Yerushalayim, from the first fruits they brought to Yerushalayim. So the Mishnah says over there, the wealthy people brought it, the first fruits in baskets or vessels of gold and silver. With a fancy case comes with a present to the kohen of the fruits. Aniyim, they couldn't afford to bring it with a silver and gold case, so they brought it b'sala netzorim shel arova klufa. They made out of the wheat of the arova. They made a basket and they brought the fruits in those baskets. So what did they do with the baskets? Asalim v'abikurim nosim l'kohanim. By the ashirim, they only gave the fruits to the kohen, the silver and the gold. The casing that they took back. That's not about giving you gold. It's giving you fruits. Give you a lot of it, nice fruits. The poor people gave it with the basket. They didn't ask for the basket back. It's the poor. He didn't bring it as the wealthy guy. So he says, from here we see that the poor man have to give more than the rich man, because the rich man got back his basket made out of silver and gold. The poor man had to give it away, the basket too. That little basket there, they also have to give it away. So you see, poverty goes after the poor man. Amar Lei, there's many Gemaras now we're going to see. Rava asked Rabbi Bar Mori where you got it from. Then he says his own other ideas where it's coming from. Amar Lei, at Amar Mehosom, you bring a raya from Maseches Bikurim, va'ana amina mehoches. He brings a raya from the pasuk. Not Rabbi Bar Mori brought a raya from Torah Shebal Peh, from a Mishnah, and Rabbi brings a raya from the pasuk. It says in Sefer Vayikra by the Mitzorah. But Tome Yikra. Mitzorah, I have to tell everybody he's a Tome. This is why people stay away from him. Tome Yikra. So the way Rashi explains, it's not enough that he is inflicted with tzaras, that he's inflicted with the pain of tzaras. He also, besides the physical infliction, you have to now have emotional, you have to be embarrassed, tell everybody, I'm a tameh. So it's like things are already going bad, it's getting worse. So that's so Rava says from that we'll learn that after the poor goes to poverty. We're going to see another Gemara, and then we're going to go back to explain this, why it works this way, soon. So, the Maila, we're going now to another Gemara. He says, Amar l'Rava l'Rabba b'Amori, Mino amilta d'Amar Rabbanon. He says, where they took it from, what Chacham was saying, Hashkem me'echel b'kayit m'pnei achamo. Chazal recommend very much pas shachris, eating good breakfast. Today, it's already not so simple. Some people say, skip breakfast, don't eat anything, or eat very little. Over there, they recommend to eat a piece of bread for the morning. So it says, so how do you know what it says? Where do we know this from? What Chachamim is saying, Ashkem ve'echol b'kayit m'pnei achamo. This Gemara over here doesn't say pas shachris. When it says a similar Gemara comes over there, they say clearly pas shachris. But we're going to see it also mean of your pas shachris, meaning either just breakfast or bread in the breakfast. So it says like this. Chachamim said in the morning and in the summertime, get up and eat m'pnei achamo. This way, the heat of the summer will not hurt you. That the good breakfast will help you not to get hurt by the heat. And in the winter, if you eat a good breakfast, it will protect you not to get cold in the winter time. How do we know this from? And that's Chachamim saying that. Now the people, regular people, saying Shitin Rahut Velamatu Legabra de Mitzafra Korich. 60 people could run after that one person. He's going to be faster and stronger than all the 60 people. The one ate breakfast in the morning. It shows how important is breakfast. So he said all this, what Chachamim said, what the people say, where do we know this from? So the Rabbi Bar Mori brings a raya to Rabbi from Pasuk in Yeshaya. It says in Yeshaya, Lo yir'ovu v'lo yitzmou, when they're not going to be hungry and thirsty, v'lo yakem shorov v'shemesh. And if they're not hungry and thirsty, meaning in the morning they have their bread and their water, so the heat is not going to hurt them. So from that we learn, when you're not hungry and thirsty, meaning when you ate your breakfast, you are protected. Amar lei, and Amar mehocham. Rabbi tells him again, you bring a raya from a pasuk in Yeshaya, v'ana amina mehocha. Rabbi brings a raya from the Chumash itself, from Shmos. It says like this: Va'avadtem es Hashem Elokechem, zo kriyas Shema u'tefillah. It says in the pasuk Shmos Chav Gimel. Serve Hashem, va'avadtem es Hashem Elokechem, zo kriyas Shema u'tefillah. When you say kriyas Shema u'tefillah, that's called serving Hashem. Then it says, continues that pasuk, uveirach es lachmechem ve'es meimecha. Hashem going to bless your bread and your water. And the Gemara says, "Ochal berach es lachmas meimecha, zo pas b'melach v'kitzim shel mayim." If you eat in the morning bread with a little salt and a pitcher of water, if you do that, that's what Hashem says. Uberach es lachmecha v'esamecha is going to give a blessing into your breakfast. Mikan va'elach, after that, the whole day, v'asiroisi machala mikerbecha. Hashem says, I'm going to remove all sickness from you. So from that, so again, we see already twice when the Rabbi Bar Mori brought a raya either from Torah Shabbal Peh or either from the Nevi'im. Rabbi brings a raya directly from Torah, from the same inyan. Then he brings like this, a brayso, Tanya, machala zomoro. When it says, Hashem says, I will remove from you sickness. When if you eat breakfast, it says machala, sickness, it says mora. It talks about the bladder. Why the bladder called machala, sickness? There's 83 sicknesses coming from the bladder. Machala b'gematria hachyavu. Machala is a gematria of 83. But kulan, and to get rid of all the sicknesses or prevent them, pas b'melach shachris v'kitan shel mayim u'vatalzin. If you eat pas b'melach shachris in the morning, you eat your breakfast with the bread with salt and the water, it's going to nullify all. You're going to prevent yourself all these sicknesses. Okay, you could argue today that depends on the quality of the bread. Maybe like it's brought in Chazal, nishtanu ativim. We have different nature, meaning things that are done maybe differently, they're modified, but to keep it in the original way, again, there's many shittas in diet, millions of shittas, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. But according to Chazal, if you eat a good breakfast, a good balanced, well-balanced breakfast, that's going to save you from all this in Yonim. So interesting, the Benayahu, Ben Yoyada, he brings that a lot of the things with Chazal telling us over here, he says, in the word machala, you have a hint for a lot of them. It says like this. Nirali, the word machala, Hashem says, I'm going to remove machala, sickness from you. Machala oisias halechem. Machala is the same letters of halechem. If you eat bread, Hashem will get rid of sickness. Remez da halechem matzil machala. Gam machala oisias hamelach. Machala, same letters as hamelach. If you dip your bread in the salt, again, that's going to help you to get rid of the sickness. Gam machala oisios lechamo. Meaning chamo, it's the sunrise. Remez loichel alechem bezrichas achamo batala machla. As you eat your breakfast early, obviously early meaning after your learning, davening, after you're ready to eat breakfast, but early, you don't delay it a lot. By zrichas hashem, still the sun shining. That's oisias machala lechamo. When you do it while the sun's shining, you're going to get rid of the machala. Then he brings more in yonim. Just like to add one more thing over here. A continuation of what he says. Like I says, machala oisias alechem, oisias hamelach, lechamo. Also, we could add to it, machala is the same letters of mechila. So it says, if you want to get rid of sickness, you have to be moichel. You have to be able to forgive to your pain to others. Because when people keep their pain, they don't forgive others, that makes them sick. Imagine if you have a suitcase of pain carrying with you, that makes you sick. Machala is just mechila. And this is also the Gemara in Bava Metzia, when it talks about, it elaborates more, and the Gemara says there's many benefits to breakfast, and one of them the Gemara says, Machnis ahava, the breakfast brings in love u'moitzi akina, and get rid of jealousy, of ill feelings. So when a person eats, the reason other times people in pain, that there's something bothering them. Because if nothing bothering you, if you feel good, you're not in pain, nothing bothering you, you feel good. So when you're eating in the morning and you feel good, so the pain somebody inflicted on you, you hurt your feeling, well, you don't care at this point, you feel so good, you don't think about it. So you come from the pas shachris, it brings ahava, umoitzi akino, get rid of ill feeling, memela, you moichel, the people that inflict, put on you some inflictions of bad feeling, you moichel them, memela, it gets rid, the mechila gets rid of machala. So the pas shachris has many benefits. Okay, then the Gemara is like this. Amale, Rava, Rabba Bar Mori, Mina Milse, Domo Rabbanon. This is very difficult to fulfill this one. Easy to read it, very difficult to live with it. Hear what he said. And with that, would explain also what we learned before, regarding the Mitzoyra, that he says Tome. Amal Rabba Mari. Mina Milse, from where we know, Domo Rabbanon. Chavrech, Karyo, Chamra, Ukfo, Lagabe Mush. Your friend calls you a donkey. It's a chamor to you. Normally, he would get angry.
Insulted.
He would get insulted, get angry. But the people in... not the people of Rabbanon, the Chachamim, that's over here. Sometimes it says inches inside Rabbanon. Over here, this is already the midah of Rabbanon. An average person, really, if somebody insulting you, you get insulted, you get angry. Over here, Chachamim telling you, somebody calls you a donkey, you should give him the ukaf, the one they put on the donkey. He says, here, put it on me. Yes, I'm a donkey. Put it on me.
Saddle.
Meaning,
Saddle.
the saddle. Meaning, don't argue with it. Says, yeah, you're right. Says, how do we know that? That you have to really be so humble instead of getting angry. Says, yeah, you're calling me a donkey. Yes, I am. You want to ride on me? So it is, like I said, it's easy said, or the Chum used to say it, but it's not. Most people don't work this way. The system of most people, we get insulted when people get tell us, but Chachamim asking us to be in such a high level. Somebody call you a donkey. Says, yes, you're right. So he says, how do we know that? That's how it should be. The Hanog of Chachamim telling us. Amar l'Dechsiv. Rabbi Bamori told him. It says, Posuk in Torah, and this time Rava does not correct him at all because he brings a raya from Torah. It looks like Rava want to, like the Gemara says, milsa de loramiza be'oraisa. There's nothing. It's not hint. Has a hint in Torah itself. That's why when he brought him a raya from a Mishnah, a raya from Yeshaya, he told him he went back to the Posuk in Chumash. This one, Rabbi Barmari gave him a raya from the Torah itself. This Rava has no problem. Then fine, if you come from Torah, I'm fine with this. What do we learn in Torah? That such a concept that be so humble that go along with what they're giving you an insult. It says, Vayoymar, Hagar Shivcha Sorai. So that is the story when the Hagar was running away from Sorai. Malach found her and asked her, where are you going? And she answered him, Hagar, I'm running from Sorai Gevilti Anochi Barachas. I'm running away. So the Malach called her, Hagar Shivcha Sorai. When he called her, Hagar, he didn't call her just Hagar, where are you going? He called her right away, Hagar Shivchas. The whole thing was she was running away from she doesn't want Sarah to be her boss. She's running away from this. And he called her, no, Hagar Shivchas Sarah, you are the servant of Sarah. Sarah, she's the boss. And Hagar could have said, oh, I'm running away from this, I don't want. But Hagar, that she was a big Bala Smiler. She had also a lot of great qualities. After all, she was living by Avraham Avinu. But Toimar b'pnei Sarah Gevirti Anochi Barachas. She didn't say something bad about Sarah. She said, no, she abused me, no. She called Sarai Gevirti. Yeah, you call me Hagar Shivcha Sarai. You are right. I'm running from Sarai Gevirti. She's the Gevirta. She is my boss. So from here we see that we're learning from Hagar, from Pasuk in Chumash, we're learning that somebody call you a donkey is very, very insulting. Instead of arguing with him, tell him you're right. Oh, so what we're seeing from sending would be Lagabe Metzoira. It says over here, Rava said, how to know that after the poor man goes poverty, you have to be humble, and even though you're inflicted with pain now, you're Metzoira, you're going to say, Tama, I'm Tama, stay away from me. Meaning like this, when it's God forbid there is dinim, like the poor man, he has dinim, he doesn't go well for him, that's why he's poor. Or like Sarah, she's running away, she's in trouble. So when comes your way a rebuke, why you have this trouble, instead of rejecting the rebuke, accept it, and that on its own will mevatel the dinim. That on its own will mevatel the dinim. I saw in Sefer Tamar Minogim, he says, why in time, now we don't know this over here, but in time of when there were bombs falling in places, time of World War II, or even now in places that there's bombs falling, it says the minhag olam, people go down on the floor. It says, why they go down on the floor? But Pashtus, you want to avoid, nothing should hit you. It says, no, Al-Pi Ruchnis, he says, when there is dinim in the world, we'll go on the ground, we want to come to the level of bittul, and with that bittul, we'll mevatel the dinim. We're saying to Hashem, if there's anything, I deserve a punishment, I go on the ground, I'm totally bottle, I'm close to the ground, I'm nafshik offer lakaltia. With that, we'll mevatel the dinim. So that's what the Metzoira, Hashem sent an infliction for a reason. Hashem, whatever, he had some averus. So instead of rejecting the rebuke, of throwing it back, said, Toma, you could have been more humble. Said to people, I'm a Thomas, stay away from me. That on its own will help you to get rid of the tzara. Same thing over here. So Hagar had some problems over there. She was running away. So the Malach taught her, you don't run away from problems. Adrabah, Sarah Gevirtech. She says, yeah, you are a Shivcha Sarah. She says, yeah. So Sarah Gevirtech, she took the message, yeah, I have to probably, instead of running away from trouble, accept the din and be humble. By being humble, that on its own will mevatel the dinim.